Mirana Bane, you kind of scare your opponents. They need to start thinking about, oh, what if we're playing against Mirana Bane? And you can super easily curveball them. Mirana can go in all 3 lanes. Bane can go in both side lanes super easily and play with almost anything. So I feel like this Fnatic opening shows extremely little about what they're planning to do, whereas Serenity's is a little more telling.
What I feel about the draft is that what I do when I draft is I study the Dota buff of the opponent team, and then what I've seen is that a lot of teams ban Necro against Serenity or pick it away from that, and then also Serenity super values that hero, and then if that took me like 10 minutes to figure that out, MB probably knows it too.
Yeah.
But he didn't ban it or first pick it against Serenity. And then he picked Mirana against Necro, expecting they will pick the Necro Force. I think Mirana is like pretty good against Necro in the lane on the all 3 sides. So I think they're kind of matching that up is what I feel. And then I was kind of expecting them to take the Winter Wyvern because they had a lot of success with it and they picked it a lot. And it's also really good combo with some Mirana, but I guess they opt to go for the Bane so far.
Just more for the lane, I guess, because Wyvern, he's not that weak, but he's not that strong either.
It's also not really good against Ogre, because Ogre has so high base regen that you can't really harass him out of lane. That's generally what Wyvern tries.
Kind of like the range lane bully. Like you have this Undying Ogre, and Bane's like one of the few only range heroes that can you actually trade because of Brain Sap and hold the lane.
Absolutely. The thing that surprised me the most in this draft actually is when you look at these Fnatic bans, there are 2 bans in this first phase that we almost haven't seen much anyway in the group stage as first phase bans, namely the PL and the Nyx. And by banning out Nyx, you already make the Necrophos better that Serenity likes, like March pointed out. So I'm wondering, do you think Fnatic thought they wouldn't grab the Necro and then they were like, nice, we can get Necro and Nyx is already banned? Or do you think they were specifically trying to set this up and tempt Serenity to be like, yeah, oh, there's not even a Nyx, this is a great Necro here. And now they're going to counterpick it.
That's what I think they're going to do.
Some 60 chess from Envy?
I think they're mind gaming them too. And then, yeah, the PL is like one of the really good heroes they play as well. I think that's why they banned it, and then they're kind of fidgeting them there.
Do you think that's a good 1-2 hero though, this patch? Like PL just grabbing it in the first 2 here? Or do you think Fnatic are just banning ahead so they have more bans in the second phase?
We've seen like TNC did that in the group stage, but they didn't do so well with it. But I felt like certain teams, they really favor the hero, and when it's really a good PL game, generally the second phase, it's going to get banned. It's not going to get available. So probably teams feel like we are really good with this hero, and the heroes that I picked are really weak against PL, and so why not?
So one of the things that, because there's not a lot known about Serenity other than the group stages that they've played here and the qualifiers, of course, earlier on in the month. One of the things that for Team Serenity is very important is ZYD's Lina. They banned out the TA already. Is this something that we are going to expect to see?
Yep, probably. Ogre works really well with Lina, and Ogre works really well with Tiny. Like Tiny is a very, very slow hero, can't hit fast, so the Bloodlust is really, really useful for him.
And then whenever you see Phoenix, you want to go for the Lina right away.
Lina looks nice. It looks really nice. The one concern I have is that she's a very
squishy hero.
She's very gankable for Bane at nighttime. If you choose to put this Mirana mid, for example, it's a very easy rotation for Bane. But there's a lot of pros to the Lina. I think Lina with Bloodlust moves around hasted with 3 Fiery Soul stacks, hits extremely fast against the Supernova, and has the range advantage over heroes like Bane. It's a lot easier to play ranged carry type or core type heroes against Bane than the melee ones. Yeah. It's a good choice. I definitely think this was the right selection for Serenity in this position. It's also a hero that is nice. It feels nice to pick Lina blind in mid because she has like no really bad matchups except the TA, which is already bad. So it feels safe. I think Brute is playable. I could be wrong.
He can kill you. I feel like he can kill you easily. Like Lina is like very worried about the lanes where he can die easily. Maybe at the start, because Brute doesn't really win at the start against most of the heroes.
I don't know if I've seen that matchup this time.
Myself, but I think I heard from some pros like Lina wins against Brute.
Okay,
that's what I heard.
I don't think I've seen the matchup. I feel like conceptually, Lina loses if the Brute plays really well and like angles the Spiderlings and backstabs her or comes in from multiple sides. But for the first few minutes, at least, Lina should just be winning until Brute gets picked.
But ZYD even wins with Lina against TA. Like they had picked Lina into TA during the group stage.
Well, if you're good enough.
If you're good enough, right? Maybe this is...
Anyone getting some cheeky flashbacks?
The Visage for Fnatic.
Yeah, one of their comfort picks.
Is that
sorry?
Is a Drone Ranger banned yet?
I think it's banned. I think I saw it as a ban.
Draw is not bad.
Really? But
Oh,
still,
I did not see that. I just made that
I
up.
kind of still like the Visage here. because
Obvious stand right there.
Yeah, they kind of have like a very good team fight around the Visage. They can easily group up. They have like wave clear from the Mirana. And you know, you have this high burst damage hero where I feel Lina is always very worried about getting sniped off, getting killed in the fights against the familiars.
From what I've heard, I have not really played this matchup myself, but I remember talking to one or two people about Lina versus Visage, where as Lina you feel great until Visage is level 6, and then you just leave.
Yeah,
you actually can't lane anymore.
You have to jungle or try to help the other lanes, or just like avoid him.
It's a very targeted pick at the Lina, it seems, but I don't know about Visage against both Tiny and Necrophos. Tiny's status resistance gets rid of the Grave Chill very fast, gets rid of the bird stuns very fast. He has the cleave against the birds, which can be useful in some situations. And Necro with the Ghost Shroud is very easily able to separate himself from the Visage. So I'm not completely sure if... I don't think just target picking one by one to counter one hero is good enough.
But I think Phoenix and Visage have really good synergy. In a way, they try to kill the egg, and the birds can protect it and also slow down their attack speed. And then, like, if you force Necro to Ghost Shroud, he's not going to be able to attack.
True.
So I think Visage and Necrophos have a combo in a way they can protect each other is what I feel. They can't hard commit on the Visage with everything because they have a egg, and then you can't really go on the egg. So like, with Visage, you want to like 5-man down and push the lane.
So do you think now you invest into this Phoenix, so your last pick helps protect the egg, or do you think you have enough now against these heroes?
I think they have more than enough, and if you look at Serenities, they don't really have very good team fight. Their heroes are more like kind of like single target, they go on one hero, and right now if you have this Phoenix, I think they have more than enough team fight to be able to beat Serenity. I don't see like a last pick from Serenity that can like overturn the balance of the team fight, and Ursa is going to give them much more laning presence. They have heroes that are really, really strong on the side lanes, the Mirana and the Ursa. Visage, not really good in the first few minutes of the game, but he's going to allow his team to be able to take towers later in the game. So I feel like the whole draft of Fnatic here is quite balanced throughout.
10 seconds.
And for Serenity, they're going to have to try to maybe win all their lanes to have a chance in this game.
I feel like something is telling me that PYW's most successful hero was Tiny when he played it as a 4. So I think this, to other teams, maybe this would look like, oh, they're last picking their position 5, but I think this Ogre is 5, Tiny's 4, and they're gonna just grab another core at this point.
They're random. So
what's that?
I mean, they're a random team. Like
They're random. They're just random, the last hero?
I don't know if this hero is for the Shinkyu or like another core they have. Like, it's really hard to tell, but I want to see a game-winning hero that is picked and then looks good for Serenity to just win this game right here.
Smeepo Alchemist kind of hero.
Yeah, but I don't think they play those heroes, right?
Yeah.
Broodmother would be a good pick here, but I don't think this team plays it at all, right?
If they don't play every hero, they're not the new Wings.
They got Innocence as their coach.
Oh.
No, they got that going for them. Actually, both teams are coached by a TI champion, AUI and Innocence. Let's see if they can get that Wings mojo going for them this game.
Trying to think of what they could possibly round out their lineup with. It's a bit hard when I can't see the drafts right now.
I mean, it feels like they kind of have to try to play the lanes. I don't think that they can pick like a team fight call to salvage their draft. They have to try to like secure all their lanes and try to snowball out of there and maybe just get early Roshan, something like that. Like team fight is just not going to be possible for them. They have to draft something that does well in the lanes. But at the same time, Fnatic, they don't really have weak side lanes. We saw the Ursa, we saw the Bane.
That's a gyrocopter.
Okay. I think I only saw one game in the group stage where Gyro was last picked, and that was for no one for Virtus Pro in one of their last games. It was a game against VGJ Storm, and he made that hero look really good from mid. But in this game, the Lina is definitely taking up the mid lane, so this will be a side lane.
He's going to die to the Bane and the Mirana. I don't know. I'm not so sure about this last pick. I feel like he's just going to be having a really, really hard time from the laning phase.
Isn't Visage and Mirana known to be good against Gyrocopter? That's what I feel.
They might be picking Gyro just for the flat cannon against the birds, but it's not really useful if the birds are close to Visage. So it used to be one of the more classic counters against the Visage, but since the Gravekeeper's Cloak affects the birds the way it does, it hasn't really been as favored anymore. One thing that's good for them, though, they have really, really fast cores. This looks like a VP-esque draft where you have these heroes that come online early, want to fight, want to group up. They're good at skirmishing, they're good at taking bigger fights, but maybe not the flat-out 5-on-5s. That could be where they could fall victim to Fnatic's superior team fight.
You think both teams are happy with their draft?
I think so. I think they have different ways of winning the game, but no draft to me looks vastly superior to the other.
Oh, I would rather be Fnatic's draft, like maybe at least 6 or 7 games out of 10 games.
I think Fnatic have edge until the mid game, and then if they go into the late game, I can see the Serenity take over.
Super late game when you have all these like 4, 5, 6 slotted heroes coming out. Yeah. But before that, I feel like they're going to be able to do well in the lanes. They're going to get Roshan and snowball out through the game.
All right, you know who can also answer that question really well? Casey can, because she is right next to AY.
Hey. Yeah, we thought we'd go straight to the source. Coach, based on how that draft went for you, yeah, let's give him some love here inside Rogers Arena. That's for you. Hometown, how does it feel?
Yeah, no, it's good. Vancouver's the best.
It is the best. We agree. Best place for Dota, at least this week. How did the draft go for you? And based on what you saw from the other team, how do you
We got our strat, you know?
Who cares what they're playing? We got to play our game. That's actually a good way to look at it. Who cares?
Yeah, pretty much.
Ali, thank you so much. A TI champ! Come on, Vancouver! Thank you so much. I'll let you get going. Back to you guys.
Fnatic got exactly what they wanted, apparently. Let's find out if it is enough against Team Serenity with Capitalist and Blitz.
That's right. Thank you very much, Cheever. The elimination matches of the International have begun. Blitz, are you excited?
I'm very excited for this.
I know you love to be able to see some blood in the water, but teams have worked all year long to be able to make it here to the main stage of the International. Fnatic and Serenity have to face off in a best of one. This is going to be one of the scariest spots you could be in the entire Dota 2 season.
This is the proving ground. You lose one best of one, your year is a complete waste. I don't care what kind of player you are, what you've won before. If you're in the loser bracket like this, you're not going to feel very good.
And at least you heard from AUI, one of the few players slash coaches here from Canada here at the International, saying that they got what they wanted, they got what they scrimmed with, and apparently it doesn't even matter what Serenity has. But does it matter to you, Blitz? Do you like Serenity's lineup?
I think I like Serenity's lineup just because they've been holding true to their strength, which is trying to get heroes that win the laning phase.
Yeah.
They just catch good hero matchups 1v1, like the Lina against the Visage, at least in the early stages. They've got a good measure of teamfight stuns. They haven't done things a little bit too crazy like they normally do.
Right.
I feel like they're trying to make sure in this best of one, no Ricky offlane or anything like that.
It feels like that we're not going to see anything too crazy out of them, and they do get some of your signature style that you're talking about. They're going to be able to play pretty fast. We're going to see the lanes breaking down. ZYD is matched up against Abed's Visage. We're going to have a bit of an aggro lane coming out from Serenity. PYW on his most successful Tiny, and Shin-Q is going to be right next to him on the Necrophos against Eternal Envy and DJ. Bottom lane, we've got a killer duo in the Bane Mirana, but it does have a big tanky Ogre in XCJ, and GGG is going to be playing the Gyrocopter, trying to farm up behind him. So I think the Ogre is a good way to be able to deal with a Bane Mirana matchup.
I think so, just because you can actually trade hits with the Ogre. At the same time, there's not a whole lot of kill potential on the side of Serenity, and they've got to be careful because Bane Mirana is so deadly. You get arrowed, you get slept into the arrow. It's such a good combination with just two heroes.
All right, those are some open AI denies right there. Pylai Die and Universe playing together to be able to deny out the range creeps. XCJ is just kind of like futilely throwing himself at them to be able to cause some distraction, but it's not actually doing much. They're doing a good job. Even if they can't get some kills just yet, they're still trying to pressure this Gyrocopter's farm. Mid lane seems to be going pretty good for ZYD.
Yeah, I think this lane is fine for Lina, just because you have high attack speed. If he ever Gravekeepers cloaks you, you can always just trade hits. The Grave Chill doesn't do too much because of your Fiery Soul, and you always have the nuke to trade out.
And then once he gets familiars, you're probably looking at being able to just move around and go attack some of the side lanes anyway, right?
I mean, you can always default jungle, is the nice part, especially on Radiant side.
A lot of options for Alina core.
Yeah, I think playing Radiant side mid, especially for Alina or just any hero that has a lot of spam, it's so easy because you can go to either of these two camps, you can make your natural progression back to base. Courier has a short distance travel.
Whenever I think of ZYD playing mid, I always like to see like Lina's, Mirana's, these sort of like low cooldown heroes that can move around to the side lanes. I think he is a very successful, or when he's most successful anyway, is when he's moving around trying to gank.
Yeah. And I mean, I've only seen him really play Lina ever since they started their slide. They put on some interesting heroes, but feels like they're trying to balance things out, be a little bit more stable. But that's what I felt like they lacked in the group stage anyways, is they weren't a very stable team.
6-3, Gyrocopters really feeling the hurt here. Even if they haven't died, even if they haven't given up first blood, the laning phase is still being won by Fnatic. Fortunately for them, the Necropost is doing equally well in the top lane. Xin is currently top of the CS board, 15-3. That's pretty impressive against an Ursa.
And Envy getting pressured under the tower. They glyph for this too, and Tiny's coming in.
That is a smart glyph. Usually you save your glyph to be able to win the mid lane, but this is a great opportunity for them to put pressure onto Eternal Envy. They are going to be able to get him with the avalanche, slow him down. The death pull should be enough to finish him off, and that's going to be your first blood. Xin picks it up on Eternal Envy.
Envy going down early.
Uh-oh, nice, leap into an arrow. That was a cute little play from Universe. XCJ couldn't get there in time to be able to block it. He might just juke it into the trees. Tries to juke it into the trees, but that's a dead end, my friend. And they will trade 1 for 1 now.
Thought he was going to eat the tango and make his way down. That would have been such a sick juke. Both safe laners going down, evening things up for Fnatic early on.
Big advantage, of course, the Necropost being able to not only get the first blood, the extra bounty there, but also being able to heal himself off significantly, being able to get those hero kills. PYW has proven to be quite the menace here in this top lane. DJ, he just doesn't seem to have much of a lane at all. In fact, he just had to use the Icarus dive. When dive is on cooldown, he pretty much has no lane press. What? He killed the courier with the tree. Nice little play there from PYW. And now they're going to close in on Eternal Envy. Tossing back into Xin, being able to get a good death pulse in. He has a clap just trying to slow them down. Good use though. The Ghost Shroud is going to also slow down Eternal Envy, hoping to be able to keep pace.
He's going to turn this.
But Eternal Envy sees the opportunity to be able to turn around. They're slowed down for the attack speed by DJ, but Eternal Envy, he just pushed a little bit too far. Xin, nice body block there from PYW. It's almost enough. They need another shot. He does have a tree. He's going to pick up the tree and take Eternal Envy down.
Xin looked a little bit dicey there. He's used his Ghost Shroud offensively, but Envy's still going to go down. And this is the weakness of Phoenix, is that he doesn't provide a whole lot for you in the laning phase.
Nice little wake up there from the Gyrocopter, preventing XCJ from being hit by the arrow. Bounty runes are going to go rounds.
DJ's going to get both of them here.
Nice pick up by DJ. Hopefully he doesn't die. PYW has no mana. Even though that was a long TP, DJ will make it back.
Envy, he should expect this sort of game cap just because he's an Ursa against a range hero in the Necro where he doesn't really have a lot of opportunities to kill. His support is a Phoenix who's just a lot greedier. And so he shouldn't panic in this situation.
It's like a good combination of Phoenix can't really protect the lane and you want to pressure the Ursa early, right? So Serenity, they're going to put a lot of marbles in that basket, just try and take out Eternal Envy's early farm as much as possible.
Yeah, Envy just has to trust that his other lanes are going well.
And the truth is that bottom lane, GGG is being able to pick it up. He's actually over the
double stun right now. PYW in mid lane.
They're going to be able to get a nice avalanche out from PYW, almost finishing up Highlight Dive. The Brain Sap will be able to keep him alive. Long range trade. He tried to go for the Nightmare block, but it wasn't good enough. Not quite fast. And PYW will be able to secure another one. Man, this support Tiny looks like a monster on Team Serenity.
He's already level 5 at 6 minutes into the game. And he's looking quite dangerous right now. 6 minutes in, 2K lead. The Ogre just going to run away.
And the thing is, like, we're at TI, we're on the main stage, you're playing a best of one. Every little bit of dread you have about the laning phase kind of not going your way if you're Fnatic. It's just being amplified, so they need to be able to pick something up. ZYD being pressured by Abed, force a rotation from XCJ. He cancels that TP though, staying by GGG's side in the bottom lane.
XP looking pretty good right now for Serenity.
Top lane, they're going to go for the dive. Eternal Envy, super low, but trying to get the healing salve. He will be able to juke around a little bit, but the death pulse finds him. Couldn't really get far enough away. And DJ, he'll stick around, maybe collect some of the experience, but he really can't do anything to stop them.
I mean, he's a Phoenix. He's just going to watch that happen every single time. The majority of the damage is magical.
Sleep first. XCJ wakes him up, maybe sacrificing his own life in the process. He's pretty tanky though, and the Mirana can't quite finish him off. Universe cops a missile to the face, and they will back up. Healing salves being thrown around now.
I know I said that top lane wasn't going to be easy for Envy, but can't die 3 times in 7 minutes.
Yeah, he is significantly far down there in the network chart, sitting at 1600, even below PYW's support Tiny. That's how far he is, so he's just gonna start jungling. He's got to find some farm somewhere. He can't just keep dying like this over and over again. They will have a significant markup in teamfight once they get their level 6s. Both their supports do have some pretty potent abilities in that regard, particularly the Phoenix with the Supernova. So that's what you were saying. You're saying Fnatic are going to try and get a comeback there in the teamfight, even if they're losing the lanes a bit.
And the scary thing about this meta, though, is that if you lose your lanes this badly, if you start the game 10 minutes in 5-6k gold, it's really hard to recover that. And so far, I mean, Necro's such a beast of a hero. He doesn't have a lot of natural counters in this lineup anyways.
Yeah. Universe, they're going to deal with the missile. Pylai Dai comes in from behind. They should be able to get it. Now the sleep. And good draw of aggro there. Pylai Dai pulls the creeps to himself to make sure that Arrow has a free path to be able to line up on GGG and gets the kill. That was a cute little play from Pylai Dai.
And they needed something like that as, again, top lane just being pressured. Envy forced into the jungle, PYW following him around, making life as tough as possible for this Ursa, who doesn't even have boots at 8 minutes in.
DJ now solo in the top lane. Shin-Q knows, like, okay, it's a support Phoenix. He's level 4. He has no armor still. I can just run him out every single time. Chase him away from the tower, and might be able to take that tier 1 pretty early. An early Moonlight Shadow being used here. Not sure if that's to protect DJ or to try and do something more offensive. You do see the Bane Mirana trying to move around, not really going to do much.
Top lane DJ, you got to be careful. You don't have dive.
Levy
coming around, he's invis.
Is going to be able to get a lot of damage onto PYW. So on the toss, tries to toss the Ursa over to the Phoenix, misses though, and hits a creep instead. Still though, he's fine. Levy forced to use that enrage a little bit early. ZYD almost caught by the Nightmare. Pylai Dai does manage to get him. Now they're going to put both. Okay, they see the TP out from the Tiny, and they give up on that kill pretty quickly.
He's got the stun. They've got to be careful. Looked like it was going to be a good rotation, and the bottom Universe still thriving. This is going to be the trade-off here. But Jin-Q continues to just run at DJ, not letting him get XP under the tower.
4-2 as the 10-minute bounty runes are about to spawn. We're going to see both the teams try and position themselves to contest. That's why Vincent is here in the jungle right now. He really wants to make sure they can't actually steal that. PYW does manage to get it, gets the AoE stun onto the birds, but they're trying to target Jin-Q. He pops the Ghost Shroud to protect himself a little bit. Now the Lina on the other side does manage to hit up from the Bane. Reaper's Scythe will manage to finish off there. He's getting a little bit of heal off of the Death Pulse stacks, fortunately, and that just means Fnatic going to have a hard time killing him, and they're going to try and go for the familiars. Abed goes for the resummon, prevent that bounty being given to Serenity.
He also lost the Helmet Dom creep though, so that's an additional 200 gold that's going to go the way of the Necro. And just look at his net worth right now. 1,200 ahead of anybody on the side of Fnatic. This best of one starting to look pretty dicey here.
He's probably going to need another Purge creep, right? That's his answer to the Necrophos' Ghost Shroud. They want to have a hope of being able to kill him.
Downside though is it doesn't really provide any sort of push, which is what you want out of Abed.
Yeah, he just doesn't really seem free to be able to take that mid-tier 1 tower. Linus being able to rebuke him every single time he tries to go for a kill. Now they're going to lose their top lane, safe lane tower as well. Things are looking a bit dicey as now that 2k gold lead is doubled into a 4,000 gold lead for Serenity.
And look at this smoke. They try to look for the Lina in the jungle, not going to find her. Gyrocopter hiding in the tree line. He suspects that something is going on. They're going to ping successfully on that scan. Universe getting forced out a little bit here, but Pylai Dai coming in. He's level 6. Here's the grip.
Beans grip, and XCJ will manage to cancel out the arrow. Lands on a creep.
Oh, no one might die.
Still going to try and go for the kill, but this is looking like a sloppy assassination attempt from Fnatic. The pieces just were not put together correctly.
That felt really desperate. They really wanted the Lina. Once that fell apart, they try to go for the dive at bottom lane. That's the Fiend's Grip used. Pylai Dai wrapping around, trying to deal with the creep wave. They've committed a lot for this. 2 cores down here, not really accomplishing a whole lot. They need to get kills, but this tower is full HP.
And this is maybe where you see the cracks start to form. All that pressure, anxiety, and fear of Serenity having that early lead. They try and offset that by going for this desperate gank in the bottom lane, and it just doesn't work. Highlight Die's gonna run to the smoke. Does manage to get the Nightmare on Selena. Quick wake up there from PYW, but it's not gonna be good enough to save Highlight Die's life. He still goes down 6-2. Still, at least it's only a support. That's really the Highlight Die special right there, is being able to run into smoke ganks and die for the sake of his allies.
Scary thing right now for Fnatic, I think, is they expected to be able to take some objectives with this Visage pick, but so far they've all been kind of relegated to the jungle right now. You see that Abed farming Ancients. You see Envy over here farming the big camp. No one's really where they want to be right now, Cap.
Why was the Lina successful at being able to protect her mid-tier 1 tower so much?
I mean, you have max range, you're able to just spam out. Abed can't really just sit there. If you spam out the wave, you have to go for these dives, which is what Envy tried to do with the smoke. Was unsuccessful in that attempt, though.
And it also seemed like every single time they go for the gank, right, there's PYW, who, because of his successful lane, represented a serious threat whenever he TP'd into mid to try and protect CYD. And so they just had to give up on those kills.
Hey, look at this farm progression right now by PYW. He's almost got his Blink Dagger. They're prioritizing this right now because they lack a little bit of initiation.
CYD does not have the Laguna Blade. Is coming up in a second here, but the sleep comes up.
He's got Fiend's Grip
just in time, and maybe with the Fiend's Grip, CYD's all by himself. Ogre's going to try and come forward. He actually gives up on it. He says, that is too far of a distance for me to trek. I'm going to leave my core to die and try and get back to the Gyrocopter in bottom lane instead. So the first really good pick-off there for Fnatic. And they're going to try and use that to go mid.
Q does have the Yule Scepter.
I mean, he has to know about some of this, but there's so many heroes coming in. He has the Yule Scepters. He also has the Ghost Shroud. They managed to get the stun out. Ghost Shroud dodges so much of that damage, and he will be able to get back to the tier 1 tower area. Fnatic unsuccessful in another gank.
Reset is there. You can see Fnatic, they wanted to try to grab that kill, transition that into a push. They bring so many heroes for that. And if you're Fnatic, you want to be able to take some towers so that you can open up some objectives, maybe even enable Envy to go for the Roshan, but nothing feels too good here as...
Oh, Pylai Die just instantly gets the Laguna Blade. Yule Scepter goes off to prevent him from getting off the Nightmare or the Brain Sap. He finally does get it off on XCJ. Not able to get a kill from it, though. Again, every single time we start approaching those 5-minute bounty runes, we're going to have some sort of fight in these jungle areas, and that's exactly what Universe was trying to set up there with Pylai Die. Instead, they find too many heroes of Serenity.
Gonna be a 4K gold lead. Bounty runes right now. Fnatic still posturing forward.
Dire are scanning.
Universe is going to throw an arrow to try and protect it. LSA goes out, and they do manage to get a really good slowdown there. From the Phoenix, Yule Scepter goes off to be able to dodge a lot of damage. That just sets up the tiny village, but he keeps on missing the sun. PYW, a beautiful setup, but it's not good enough. The Supernova already up. They have to retreat. With Alina dead, they have very little damage left. So Fnatic, they do manage to win this initial fight, but PYW, he does have another opportunity with that blink. They're going to go for the Yule Scepter from Shin-Q, slowing down this Visage. Now he jumps in with the familiars. They jumped in. They managed to hit the stun with a follow-up arrow. The Reaper Sight is not going to be good enough. They completely whipped that one. Now, maybe, just maybe with GGG, they will be able to pick up one kill, and that's Universe is out of leap charges. But still, a decent exchange there for Fnatic in the end, going 1 for 2.
And Abed so tanky with this hood and this medallion. Very good timing on the birds. Meanwhile, Envy farming at top, has his Blink Dagger, recovering his game bit by bit. That 4K gold lead that we saw half a second ago, now it's 1K, and now it's Serenity that's going to be a little bit nervous.
Feeling like maybe they've lost a bit of control that they had early. What has Fnatic done right in that regard?
I mean, they've started to pick up some team fights. They're utilizing their Phoenix. They knew that DJ was going to be a bit greedier. They allowed him to get some items. He picks up his urn. He picks up his levels. And that Supernova makes it so impossible for Team Serenity to fight around.
I mean, that was an early Blink Dagger, and you thought when he jumped in, managed to hit the 2-mana Avalanche, I was like, oh no, this team fight feels like it's over. But the Supernova is actually what saved it. You could see the Visage Familiar drop there was on perfect point there, right as PYW tried to jump in and just results and a quick arrow dab. Now we're going to go back to the game where PIW does manage to catch up. Abed, the LSA doesn't actually land, and Abed's managed to get away. Turn around, Lagoon Blade does manage to finish off Pylai Die. Abed's chased away by the missile wall in the mid lane. Shin-Q barely lives through all that magic damage. Nice arrow. Is he actually going to blink in? He's trying to chase down the Necrophos. Well, still we follow Abed, who's trying to survive through all of this. Caught by PYW, but still not enough. Universe is able to beat back GGG. The Gyrocopter has to run away from that physical damage, and the 4-mana Serenity struggles to be able to catch more than just Pylai Die. They did at least force his buyback as he was trying to protect his cores, as is his current want and mode.
And NV still content to farm out this top lane. I'd like him to get a little bit more involved. If he can get on top of the Gyrocopter, not a whole lot that he can do, but still opting to try to recover his game. I feel like he's okay though, especially fighting form-wise with the Blink Dagger, with the Enrage.
It seemed a little bit like a futile effort. Like his positioning, going for the mid Necrophos, he may be the highest net worth, but this guy has both Yules and he has Ghost Shroud. It just seems very unnatural for an Ursa to try and go for that kill.
Yeah, and he's just going to reset into farming a little bit. 2k gold lead. Still a relatively even game here for either side. And the smoke attempt from PYW.
PYW does manage to grab Pylai Die once again, the ensnare into the arrow. They just keep on focusing this Bane, but they're going to trade off significantly here. PYW has a lot more farm than Pylai Die. True to his name, he just keeps on dying over and over again. So you managed to trade off a little bit more gold to the favor of Fnatic for that one.
And that's the Pylai Die special, is he's going to randomly walk in places die, but hopefully his team gets something out of it.
The enemy team looks at it and they're like, ooh, that's a juicy kill. I want some of that.
Yeah, that's just a bait. You either kill Pi 20 times in a game, or you just try not to kill him at all.
10-6, 2,000 gold lead now for Serenity, as things still have been brought down from their original lead. They still have the Necrophos who's super farmed. He's going for that fast Aghanim Scepter. And no, he's actually changing up now, maybe considering Lotus Orb. Gets rid of the Great Chill, can help protect against Nightmare and Fiend's Grip as well. I can kind of see that. Helps him against the Fire Spirits as well, right? When the egg goes down, get rid of that attack speed slow.
And everyone should have a BKB in this type of game.
Yeah. Does that include the Necrophos? Do you think he's going the right build? Centaur stun, nice double Centaur stun. The LSA arrow follow-up late for that one. GGG just gets blown up. XCJ, he's going to be next on the firing line as Abed is able to take him down. The Soul Assumption just doing too much work, and Fnatic roll up. They finally see an opportunity. It feels like the first time that Fnatic get a clean win in this game after 19 minutes, and they're going to utilize that to get even more. They're going to go for the objective in Roshan.
Yeah, and Radiant, they're going to scan successfully, but not a whole lot that they can do about this. Still 2 heroes dead. Serenity, they're thinking about this, but it's going to be way too late.
Yeah, it's not like Fnatic was trying to hide that Roshan attempt whatsoever. They said, you know what, if you want to fight, we still have Supernova. We have 5 heroes. There's no way you're going to beat us in a 3 versus 5 with Supernova. So, Serenity, wisely don't take that bait. 20-minute bounty runes coming up, and it looks like Fnatic are going to be the ones who control the map. They're going to get all 4.
That's the thing about the Phoenix is, he's so tantalizing just because these team fights around these Roche pits, and when the enemy team tries to go high ground, the egg is so good. You know his laning phase is going to be really rough. He's not going to be able to help your safe laner. He can't really gank. All he can really do is stand there and watch and soak up levels at some point. But if you can get him to this point where you're not too far behind in net worth, you're going to start to see these team fight swings.
It either forces the enemy team to overcommit to be able to kill the egg, and then they lose the fight, or they have to just run away from the egg, and that just gives a lot of opportunities for arrows or Fiend's Grip.
Oh, Pylai Die.
Speaking of that, man, he's going to get the Nightmare off. Caught by the LSA, though. Dead
Pylai
again.
Die doesn't care. Because look at this, PYW.
Tries to get in there. Fnatic this time around do not manage to trade Pylai Dies for anything worth it. In fact, if anything, Abed may be caught here. PYW is going to toss him back into the team. That is a beautiful placement. They do throw out the Supernova, but there's no damage to be able to protect it. The arrow's going to come in, but the egg does explode still with all of Serenity focusing it down. Abed, this time he overextends himself.
They've got to be more careful about that. Once you make that attempt on Tiny, you know that the rest of Serenity will come. This is going to be your tier 1, the most significant tower of the game. And this is going to cede a lot of map control in favor of Team Serenity as they're going to get a little bit of a lead now.
I mean, you got to respect the catching power of this support Tiny. Like, PYW's been really on point. He's a support tiny. He's not going for the Avalanche toss combo. He's going to toss you back into the rest of his team where the real damage is. And you can see that perfectly. There was just no way for Fnatic to possibly be able to bail him out. Sure, they try with that Supernova, but it's not even close.
You see Envy kind of posturing, but sees the call down, doesn't see the opportunity to go back in. But if you're Fnatic, you want to be able to utilize this Aegis early on, at least to take this mid-tier 1 tower. I feel like the rest of Fnatic, they should start grouping up and at least looking towards it. DJ gonna snipe.
JQ just wanted to deny it anyway, but DJ will grab it for himself, maybe get some CS. Looks like DJ in not a Spirit Vessel, but actually a Halberd being built by him.
He's got the Spirit Vessel.
Oh yeah, there he is. So that'll be a good counter to the Necrophos. Even better if he can actually get the Halberd and stop some of these attacks like the Gyro or Lina, protect the egg a little bit more.
And if you hear from the pros, I don't think they actually like Necro getting BKBs. It's a little bit of a bait just because
you can't Ghost Shroud.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're sort of vulnerable still. The Ursa will eat you alive. There's a lot of physical damage on the side of Fnatic.
Yeah.
Going for the Lotus Orb is a happy medium.
Yeah, it gets you some protection against some of that magic damage, but also then it gives you a big armor upgrade, right? You've got Plate Mail, you have Ursa and Visage to worry about, so even when your Ghost Shroud is down, or you've been stunned up and the enemy's going on you, it'll still increase your survivability by quite a lot.
And that's fully completed now. Fnatic, this is what we were talking about. Mid-tower with the Aegis. You need to be able to grab this. Serenity, you don't want to give this up for free. There's no pressure being applied on the side lanes. Universe is going to connect to the rest of his team.
Look at
the big fight.
He feels like he's so tanky, and he might be right. The Gold Scepter being used on an erased Ursa. That was not the hangs in the middle of everyone. The Supernova. It does manage to go throw down, but the BKB activated by GGG with a Black Cannon does manage to take that out. And now Fnatic just falling apart now. This best of one. They get all wiped. And Aegis come back here for Eternal Envy's Ursa, but he's got nowhere to run to. He can't flank out. That is 6 people dead from Fnatic, all for an Ogre.
And they wanted that tower, but the execution of it was so sloppy. And now if you're Fnatic, this tier 2 tower gonna get assaulted. All 5 heroes on the deck, and Envy, I think he's gonna regret that decision to go for that Basher.
Yes.
Needs the BKB. You see he just gets Yulesed up one after another.
He just comes in and rages, instantly Yules.
Just felt a little bit too forced.
Yeah.
They overestimated their strength with that Aegis, but that BKB Gyrocopter does not care. He sits in the middle of everything. He turns on his Black Cannon. He hits your Phoenix Egg. What are you going to do, Fnatic?
And that's
now
props to Serenity to read that they're strong enough to take that fight, even though Fnatic does have an Aegis.
I don't think you give up this mid tower ever. Not in this sort of situation, even with the Aegis on the enemy team.
Look at SCJ, just kind of like posturing himself right next to Fnatic. He's the first person gone on. Meanwhile, the rest of the big damage dealers from Serenity, they get plenty of space to do their work. The BKB activated by GGG lets him take out the Supernova pretty easily. Back into the game now, Fnatic are going to be playing pretty defensively. They've lost a lot of map control. They have a Sentry out. There is, of course, going to be that Centaur, which is probably just going to be free gold.
Gold and sweet.
DYD lurking here through the map with his Shadow Blade. Does not see the opportunity for a ping off.
Bottom lane. Here comes the assault from Serenity. They just want a team fight. They've got everything back up. Fnatic don't want to give this up for free. Pylai Die leads with the sleep.
They do have the BKB as well as that Lotus Orb, so they're just not going to be able to sleep combination. PYW, he sees the opportunity to grab Pylai Die and Fnatic. They don't even try and fight. Instant buy back.
He doesn't have a TP though.
The 2 cores were coming in from both the Ursa as well as Universe's Mirana.
And Serenity, they're not going to give up on this. This is a fight that they want to take both teams 5v5. Fnatic, you can't afford to lose this team fight. Their Mirana invised up. How do you start it though? There's a sentry down.
They need to just be able to blow up one of these heroes, but Shin Q is always putting himself on the front line. Same with the Ogre, right? The 2 tankiest heroes on the side of Serenity feel like if the Ogre dies, it doesn't matter. Shin Q has so much survivability that he probably doesn't anticipate dying anytime soon.
And that's going to be pretty significant because Fnatic, they used the buyback. They brought 5 heroes there. They lost the tower, weren't able to do anything. And now it's going to be Serenity that split up and farm a little bit. Utilize the space on the map.
Feels like they've gone from being perhaps overly ambitious with their mid push to now being very scared of fighting Serenity. I mean, you have to think another team wipe like that, and you're probably so far out of the game that it's going to be very difficult to come back.
Yeah, I think this is where the pressure of TI starts to set in. You see the score 19-9. You got dominated in that team fight. You felt too scared to take the team fight at bottom. BKB is still a far dream away for your Ursa. Serenity, they're going to smoke up. They want to take advantage of this. Their lanes are in a good spot. They know that somebody from Fnatic has to deal with top. So they're going to go.
And it feels like Serenity just don't crack under that same pressure.
Look at this Fnatic setup right now as Pylai Die trying to break the smoke, just walking back and forth.
Well, he'll have his wish. He breaks the smoke indeed. That means he is dead from a dive back. 40 seconds for that support.
They are going to lose the tier 2 tower out of that. And so Serenity, normally when you find Pylai Die, he's like, whatever, it's just me. But losing objectives off of this is the issue, as they're still going on, and they might even start pressuring the high ground here.
Ooh. An early high ground push, bold by Serenity. See if it works out for them. The 9,000 gold leads, they should feel pretty comfortable about being able to win these fights from the side. Universe is approaching. They're going to try and catch him with POIW. He leaps away.
They don't have BKB on their Ursa. It's so hard for them to take this engagement. 9K is the deficit. Tier 3 tower about to fall. Fnatic, where's your defense?
He's going to try and go now. Goes for PYW with that in range. Instantly hit by the LSA. All that damage slayed up. Universe comes in with a BKB. Still focusing on that support. Tiny with a Fiend's Grip. They will be able to take him down, but Serenity, they're going to call that fine. They take a tier 3. You take a Tiny. We'll accept that trade-off. Back up. Probably take your shrines, but Fnatic are not going to let them get away with that. They don't want to give them any more objectives. They try and push forward. See if Serenity break apart. But that's not the case. Serenity actually stay as a deep 4-man here inside the Dire jungle.
If you're Serenity, as soon as Tiny is up, you just go for it again. The egg is on cooldown for a full minute. You can take advantage of this time, or maybe even wait for the Roshan. But either way, Fnatic, they've got to be careful.
Blitz, it feels like a large part of the way that Fnatic can't take these team fights is they just don't have any good hard stuns when they jump in. It feels like they can't even protect the egg.
I think it's partially due to the fact that they have no initiators.
Yeah.
How do you start a fight?
It's like literally like Arrow, Supernova. Like Envy's trying to start the fights, but he starts it off with a slow and hoping for a bash. That's not exactly your dream ideal initiation.
When you want to protect the egg, you need chaos. You need the fight to be really hectic, things just happening everywhere. But for Team Serenity, it's really easy. They just pop the flak on the gyrocopter. He BKBs, he heads straight for the egg. No one can really defend against that except for the Bane grip. And they've been using the Bane grip to try to set up fights.
And that's why every single time they just make sure the gyro doesn't get initiated on, right? Necrophos, Ogre, even the Tiny, like you can initiate on those guys. I don't think Serenity really cares too much. As long as the gyrocopter and the Lina are able to take out that Supernova from the Phoenix, they feel good about winning a team fight.
And they know that Roshan is up soon. Serenity smoked up. They want to try to find a core here.
PYW leading the way. His smoke is going to pop first. He blinks the wrong direction. Universe is able to leap away. Arrow misses there. DJ's on the side. They spotted out with the death pulse. Eternal Envy's going to be found here. PYW, he may not have caught Universe, but Eternal Envy goes down instead.
Highlight die.
Sleep.
Sleep onto the Necro.
No arrow, though. And again, hard hero to kill.
Jinkyu going to poke his head into the Roshan pit.
Where's my pension?
Jinkyu calling for them to go for Roshan. And it's no surprise, 25 seconds on Eternal Envy's Ursa, and it seems like Fnatic were having troubles being able to win team fights, even with him in the game. Fnatic are going to go for a 3-man smoke. Are they going to stumble into the Roshan attempt? They're going to throw out the arrow.
The arrow hits.
Jinkyu, that's pretty good. He's at half HP. They need to try and get this one. XCJ, he's going to try and stop Highlight Die from being able to get Fiend's Grip, but it's still enough to be able to take out Jinkyu. But now Fnatic has to start retreating. XCJ, a little bit high going to alert. They do manage to get a Nightmare out on Selena, trying to set up on him, but he managed to get off the BKB before the birds drop. Now PYW comes in and just starts beating down PYW.
Oh, he's got some bashes.
Supernova already going down. He does manage to get the bashes coming in, but it's not enough to be able to win that fight. But maybe on the Lina, it's almost enough. The Reaper's Scythe is not enough to be able to stop him from killing the Lina. And now Jinkyu has to start backing away from Eternal Envy with no ghost shot up for 3 seconds. They do manage to get the stuns. He gets a little bit of a Spirit Vessel. Jinkyu is still surviving though, and Fnatic retreat back to their shrine. GGG threatening them with the missiles. But Fnatic underneath the shrine will feel like they can still reset Serenity, they're fine with the way the team fight has gone because they can go straight back into Roshan and claim that Aegis and Cheese.
Everyone fought back for that on both teams, as the Aegis and Cheese is going to go towards Serenity. Like you said, the gold lead heavily favoring Fnatic.
5 buybacks from Serenity off of that team fight. They blew everything they could to be able to get that Aegis and Cheese. But now the question is, you've got those. Do you feel good enough about pushing high ground?
I think you have to in this sort of position. There's no egg up. They're going to go for the shrine here first. They lost, I think it was 11k XP towards Fnatic in that engagement.
You're going to see that XP graph just start plummeting down.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
Well, Serenity for now, we're just going to take some of those outer objectives. Both the shrines go for the tier 2 of bottom lane.
And going to be playing a little bit carefully here, as if they lose one team fight, all of a sudden, 5 heroes, no buyback.
I mean, what a shift. You went from 5-man pushing top and taking that tier 3 and feeling like you're almost invincible to now, after blowing all those buybacks, one bad team fight, Serenity may just end up on the wrong side of a net worth lead.
Oh, I can't believe the way that team fight started. The Necro getting hit by the arrow, getting hit by Roshan repeatedly.
Yeah.
The Gyrocopter used all of his BKB charges to hit that egg. Envy, perfect timing, comes over the top, bashes him repeatedly to death.
I like how Pylai Dai got like half a second of a Fiend's Grip in there, but hey, that's what it prevents from him getting off Ghost Shroud and Death Pulse.
Yeah, you're gonna see the fight again.
Look at the arrow. He walks into it at the last second. They just had no vision outside of the pit. And just a beautiful Sunray as well, being able to clear Serenity out. But then I think Fnatic just pulling a Serenity deeper and deeper into their jungle was the best thing they could have done in this situation.
They took this fight perfectly. They were able to stay together at all times. They held the high ground. That's the important part.
Yeah.
And the buybacks were a lot more effective for them just because they ended up on the shrine side.
Yeah, that's exactly why they pull them closer and closer, right? We can back up, hit that shrine. We have our buybacks are going to be more effective. Honestly, Fnatic, just a display of brilliance, seeing that opportunity of the arrow and taking full advantage of it. Even if they don't get the Roshan themselves, they now have a window back into this game.
Envy buys out his BKB. This is the big fight, Serenity. They need to grab a Rax here.
YW just goes for the quick kill on to Pylai Dai. DJ comes in, does manage to hit some pretty good fire spears, throws out the Supernova now. That's why GTG goes in. They need to be able to get the bash to protect the Supernova, and it's not good enough. GTG may die, but that's just going to be the Aegis, and there is going to be no go down. Universe is doing pretty good, but Envy still ends up falling. Abed gets some really good control, but there's just no damage to follow it up as Universe has already blown his BKB. They're going to finish off the Familiars and probably take the lane of Rax as well. Can they go for more, though?
It's a 3-on-2 right now. No buybacks on the side of Fnatic. Serenity should be aware of that.
No Familiars, no BKB, but Serenity, they're going to play it safe. Respecting what Universe and Abed could cobble together in a high ground defense of a second lane of Rax, they will just say one lane is good enough. And after all, their lineup is pretty well equipped to keep on scaling.
And they have really good independent cores. This Necrophos is just going to get stronger and stronger. A big item pickup about to show up on a GGG as he's almost got the Scotty. That's going to be a really good control factor for Envy.
Envy has certainly been the biggest threat for our Gyrocopter every single time. They pop Supernova, he pops BKB, and in jumps Envy. And he's just hoping for bashes. He needs to stop the Gyrocopter from being able to kill that egg. Hasn't been successful yet. And maybe if he ever gets an Abyssal Blade, he'll have a better chance at that. But for now, he's just relying on the RNG of the bash.
He would have won that fight if the Gyro doesn't have Aegis. Gyro just comes back in.
Yeah.
They go for it again. Serenity. Looks like they want to take another fight. Gathering around their tier 2 tower.
Gem picked up. I like that from XCJ. So we're going to go back and see that high ground push again. DJ, with that missile coming in, he feels threatened enough to pop that Supernova, and Eternal Envy tries to recover it again, trying to go for those bashes, but he may kill the Gyrocopter, but doesn't save the Supernova and dies himself in the process.
I mean, the team fight is still so dangerous from the side of Fnatic.
Yeah.
The egg represents a real threat at all times.
Xinkyu did finish up his Octarine core, going for like kind of this tankiness, just being able to spam out Death Pulse. He's got a cheese as well with 2300 HP. He is a tough cookie to crack. 13K lead for Serenity, 1 lane of racks as well. And a best of 1 elimination match at TI. Serenity, they gotta be feeling really good about themselves as long as they just don't get over eager.
Oh, Xinqiu, he's gonna get spotted out.
He's gonna be feed script up, and Eternal Envy instantly pounces on that. Xinqiu is gone, and Team Serenity must retreat.
That is 100 seconds down for the Necro.
Oh boy.
If you're Fnatic, what can you get out of this? There's no Roshan.
William, I said being over eager. I thought that meant like, you know, going too deep in the high ground or something, but apparently just playing a little bit too separated. And that may cost Serenity this big window that they had. Fnatic can kind of push out, start controlling the map, 70 seconds to work with. What do you do if you're Fnatic? Do you just chill out? Do you just try and farm at this time? Or do you got to make some moves?
I mean, I would have liked for them to at least gone for the tier 2 tower mid.
Yeah.
But they deem it a little bit too scary. There's such a long time for this Necro to be down. If they caught any other core, no buyback. But not really going to risk it, and this is just going to reset things further.
I can't help but feeling like this is one of those situations where Fnatic needed to be able to take risks. Yes, it's super scary trying to take this 4 versus 5 because Serenity is still very strong, but at least it would have given you an opportunity to win a fight on Serenity's side of the map, and maybe you finally start shifting the tides here.
Instead, that death, it's going to be about a 2k swing back towards Fnatic, but that's still an 11k gold lead for Serenity, and the buyback cost is not really going to mean much.
Yeah, I mean, the buyback cooldown is about to come up for all of Serenity off that one team fight, so even if they go for a high ground push, they lose that fight, they'll still have that extra plan B. Smoke up, 5-man here from Serenity. The lanes are pretty well pushed in, so Fnatic will not have the best read of this situation.
I still feel like Fnatic can do it though. They've got the
What do they need?
egg. They've got a lot of control.
Is it
Still
the
have a healthy amount
Supernova?
of BKBs, yeah. They just need a really good egg.
That's got to be some heavy pressure on DJ, as well as anybody who's trying to protect that egg as well. That falls on Pylai Die and Eternal Envy, I would say, for the most part. Even Universe, a good arrow would really help that.
Good discipline right now from Fnatic. They're holed up inside their base. They know that something is afoot. They would be correct as Serenity were smoked up, trying to get back map control, get deeper wards placed on either side of the lanes.
Well, we have that Heaven's Halberd. If DJ can get it onto the gyrocopter when he dives in, preventing that BKB, like he's still going to be disarmed at that point in time, that'll really buy him a lot of room, a lot of wiggle room for that Supernova to successfully go off instead of just being a distraction, which for the most part, that's what it's been.
The early gem pickup from the Ogre is going to pay off. Fnatic now playing blind, but they're going to smoke up anyways with no vision.
Pylai Die, he's going to be the first one to break the smoke. XCJ is on the front lines as well. PYW is going to jump in, try and go for the Bane. Universe immediately trying to see that opportunity to go for him, but they're also blowing up on it. Reaper side comes in, takes him out. He does have a buyback. Eternal Envy turning with his BKB, but they just kite him around. This is the power of the Scotty and the Gyrocopter. Eternal Envy has nothing to be able to hold on to. The Moonlight Shadow drops the sentry, and there goes Envy. Fnatic now going to be forced to probably use a third buyback here as they've already blown both Abeds and Pylai Dies. I highly doubt Serenity. Well, maybe with PYW they just don't feel comfortable going for a high ground push. Ooh. Oh. Well, this is bold.
You said you wanted to see them play for the win. They're going to go for the smoke without Envy.
Yeah. I did say that.
Yeah, they do have their egg. Tiny dead. I might feel like that's enough. I think they were mainly worried about the Roshan attempt that could come from the side of Serenity. They've got no vision on the map, so they just have to guess.
And they're probably figuring for 40-minute bounty runes, like maybe Serenity are going to break up a little bit. Maybe we'll find a pick off on one of these bounty rune areas. Doesn't actually happen though. Universe going to be spotted here by GGG. He does have the homing missile that's going to chase him all the way back to the base. But fortunately, Mirana is a pretty fast hero.
Without the Tiny, they don't have the best ways to catch anybody. Leading with the homing missile against BKB targets feel too great.
I like this. Fourth item, Blade Mail maybe for PYW. I mean, he's just taking a ton of damage every single time. He jumps in, does this combo, like kills Myla Die or somebody, and then everybody from Fnatic, usually it's Universe, just chases on the Tiny.
Serenity. It's going to be the third Roshan of the game.
Who gets the refresher shard here?
Probably
Like
Necro.
it's, yep, Shin Q.
Double ult, double Ghost Shroud.
They've got double cheese as well. They didn't use the one from before.
And now he's got the Aeon Disc. Very big pickup for this Necro. It means that he can prioritize using the Lotus Orb just on his Gyrocopter.
Right.
Who now has Satanic, another counter to Envy when he jumps in.
Level 25s are coming in. GGG is getting kind of close to that one. Serenity just checking out all the ward spots, just making sure that there is no advantage for Fnatic and Vision. Serenity completely control the map, and we'll just keep all the lanes pushed in before they go for the big high ground hit. There's that rehoming missile charges now for GGG.
Now they're trying to pressure the high ground. For Fnatic, this might just be do or die. Moonlight shadowed up.
They already have the sentries in place to be able to spot any attempts. Nightmare placed on GGG. The arrow actually lands on him, but Eternal Envy, he took some damage there, so couldn't actually blink initiate at the right time. Slowly but surely, maybe not so slow, PYW does a lot of damage onto that tier 3. So Fnatic, they've got to come up with a response and fast. Otherwise, they will no longer have that tier 3 to rely on. Shin Q takes a lot of damage too. There goes that Aeon Disc, and he will be able to protect him. Supernova goes down, but they get the beat grip onto the jar. Comes to the Supernova, still dies from ZYD. He managed to focus that on the back lines. Universe tried to go for the assassination attempt on Selena, couldn't quite get it and dies instead. He does have a buyback, but he's holding on to it now as he sees that his team is successfully repelling Serenity.
They're still 5-man strong right now. They've got the refresher on a Jin Q.
And they've already popped that, so they've got a second round of the Aeon Disc. Jump in from PYW, he jumps and tries to Eternal Envy, he managed to get the look into place. There goes Eternal Envy, there comes the buyback, and Reaper side cuts down the Phoenix with no buyback either. He's dead for 2 minutes. And arrow comes out, another swing and a miss there from Fnatic, as they just seem to have no lockdown pylon dive. He's just gonna die to flat cannon shots, not like this, Fnatic. A lane of Rags gone. Serenity, they see one more to go, and they will have Megas, and they'll probably have the game in the bag.
Fnatic, if you get Mega here, that might just be all their hopes and dreams.
Trying to jump in, immediate Yule Scepter from CYD, stopping Eternal Envy. He tries to turn, but he can't really go on Shin Q. He's already ghost shredded, so he goes PYW, but he's the last man standing. Eternal Envy calls it GG from Fnatic. Team Serenity will move on in the International, and Fnatic will be...
That is such a disappointing result for Fnatic. One of the 2 Canadian players in